Intake 10, Week 23, Unit 3, English for Vocational Purposes 2, Presentation 4. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to review and consolidate previously learned vocabulary, recognize the meaning and use of the frequency adverbs, as well as speak about your daily routine at home and at work using adverbs of frequency. We will start our lesson with a quick safety message or safety talk. Our safety talk for today is about how to put on and remove a face mask. Face masks help limit the spread of germs. When someone talks, coughs, or sneezes, they may release tiny drops into the air that can infect others. If someone is ill, a face mask can reduce the number of germs that the wearer releases and can protect others from being sick. A face mask also protects the wearer's nose and mouth from splashes or sprays of body fluids that may cause or convey infection. So it's very important for you to put on your face mask to protect yourself and protect others as well. We'll start with a vocabulary review of the previously learned vocabulary of Unit 3. Here in this activity, we need to read the sentence and try to guess the missing word. The first one or two letters are provided for you to think. The trainees will finish their space, a word that starts with AP and ends with SHIB, then another word, pro, in June. So look at the picture here, it might help you. Excellent, so this sentence needs the word or the words apprenticeship program to complete its meaning. The trainees will finish their apprenticeship programs or program in June. Now the sentence is complete and meaningful. Let's move to the next sentence and do the same thing. As you see here, the picture or the photo might help you a lot guess the missing word. Here's another photo with people or trainees receiving some certificates or something in a ceremony or a celebration. Last week, there was a big celebration at NCTC for the new graduates. These are graduates. Or they are receiving their certificates or attending the graduation ceremony or maybe event. Thank you so much for that. Let's move to the next sentence. This is my first job. Like you, when you finish your training and go to the company, it will be your first job. I'm still on my great entry level. And remember, as we said before, don't say entrance level, it's called entry level. Next sentence, there are 6 trades at NCTC, such as safety officers and electricians, specializations, training programs for certain jobs. Yeah, trades, very good, trades. There are 6 trades at NCTC, such as safety officers and electricians. The next sentence, the engineers are working on the diagram of the new building. The circuit, as you see in the picture, diagram. Great. The circuit diagrams or diagram of the new building. Hammers, pliers, screwdrivers, and cutters are all examples of hand, to. Great. They are tools that we use our hands to use or operate. So they are called hand tools. Fantastic. Great. Thank you so much. Let's move on. Now, there are a lot of made to that we use to check length, weight, or pressure. So there are devices that we use to check something. Yeah, that's it. They are called measuring tools. Great. The next sentence. Scaffolders learn how to err and this scaffold safely. So to put on pieces together to build something. This word starts with ER. Great. Erect. And when you put pieces away, great, dismantle. So scaffolders need to learn how to erect and dismantle a scaffold safely. We move to the next point, which is adverbs of frequency or frequency adverbs. They are words that tell the other people that we are talking to about how often we do things. So for instance, as Muslims, we always pray Jummah in the mosque every Friday. This is an incident or an action that happens every Friday. That's why I say always. It means 100% of the time. We will discover other frequency adverbs in the next slide here. Always, it means 100% of the time, or almost 100%, usually means about 80% of the time. Often, and sometimes it's said often, it means more than half of the time. Sometimes it means less than half of the time. Rarely is about 20% of the time. Never, it means at no time. Let's think of some examples. I will give you an example about my job, and I want you to think about other examples that fits or that's true about your job. So as for me, for example, we always have a meeting with other teachers every week. So every week we do this, always. And we sometimes have a meeting on Saturday. Saturday is not a working day, but sometimes, maybe once in 2 months or once in every month, okay, we have a meeting on Saturday. That's why I say sometimes. Okay, I can even say rarely if we meet once every 3 months or something. If you don't meet at all, if you don't have anything to do on Saturday and don't go to work at all, you say, I never go to work on Saturday. I never go to work on Friday. So you have to use the adverb of frequency according to the meaning or the frequency of the action that you are describing. Here, as you see, we have an example. Every weekend, I go to the seaside. I always have a swim in the sea when I get there. It means every time I get to the sea, I swim. The sea is about 300 kilometers from my city. I often drive there. Often, it means 20%. It means sometimes I take a taxi or I take the bus. That's why I say often here. Sometimes I take the bus or get a ride with my friends. So sometimes here it means about 50% or a little less than 50%. We usually decide to go on Thursday after a long week. So it's about 80% of the time we meet and we decide to go. They never say no to these outings. My friends never, 0% say no to these outings. Tell me, where is the adverb of frequency in every sentence here? I always have. I always have. As you know, I is the subject. Have is the verb. So where is the word always? Very good, excellent. It's between the subject and the verb. Great. So that's it. We use adverbs of frequency between the subject and the verb. Between the subject and the verb. Okay. Do you have a word which is a little bit different here? Yes, great. The word sometimes. Where is it? It's in the beginning of the sentence. So this is only true about the word sometimes. We can use sometimes in the beginning of the sentence, or you can also use it here between the subject and the verb. So it's correct to say sometimes I take the bus. It's also correct to say I sometimes take the bus. Remember, this is only correct about the word sometimes, not the other adverbs of frequency. Let's move on to another activity that will help us a lot. Practice and learn more about frequency adverbs. Now it's your time to use a word in the sentence. I need to use a word in the sentence according to the notification of the prompt here. I space sleep at 10 p.m. 7 times a week. It means every day, 7 times a week. So I need to use a word that means 7 times a week or every day of the week. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much. It means, say the word, always. I always sleep at 10 p.m. Let's move on to the next sentence. My manager holds 1 or 2 meetings per month. 1 or 2 meetings. Is this 100%? Okay. Is it 50%? No. So the month, let's say, work for 20 days, and the manager holds 1 or 2 meetings. So we can say here, we can use the word sometimes, can use the word rarely. Yes, we can accept many answers. Every word that you use here will make a different meaning. If you think that this number of meetings is very few, use rarely. But usually managers meet the team once or twice every week. So I believe the word sometimes will be also okay in this context. Okay, let's move to the next sentence. Yeah, let's read it. I go to work every day. I am space absent. Every day I am present. It means that I am never absent. I'm never absent. And take care, because in this sentence we have verb to be, and the adverb frequency comes after verb to be, not before it. And the next sentence, space, but not always. I watch TV before sleep. Not always. Not always. All right. What comes less than or under always in the hierarchy or in the order. It is usually. Very good. So I say usually, but not always. Usually, but not always. I watch TV before sleep. Okay, let's move on to another point. Okay, this time you need to speak. You need to talk to a friend after watching this video about your daily routines, about things that you use or do at work and at home. So personal protective equipment, which is shortly referred to as PPE, do you think that when you go to work, uh, how often do you wear or put on personal protective equipment? Okay, so some people say we put them on when we are in the workshop, not when we are in classes. So it says sometimes. I sometimes wear personal protective equipment when I'm at home, sorry, when I'm at work. When I'm at home, will it be sometimes? Oh, excellent, great, I heard it. I never put on or wear personal protective equipment when I'm at home. So you need to talk to each other after you watch this video. You contact a colleague and try to give some true sentences about you, about things that you do at home or at work using adverbs of frequency, using sometimes, usually, never, and so on. Here's also another activity that you can use to talk to a friend, and it's an interview with a safety officer. The interviewer is the person who asks the questions, right? So we have some questions here. What time do you start work? The safety officer said, I start work at space AM. So this is for you, again, to play the roles. You talk to a friend and mention or provide true information about you. When do you start work? What's the first thing you do when you go to work? Firstly, I check that the workers have the correct work permit, for example, for their jobs. Okay, about you, you mentioned the first thing that you do. As a trainee, the first thing to do is to check in. I go to my class, my teacher checks attendance, blah, blah, blah. So please try to practice this conversation with a friend or with a colleague in the same class so that you can put adverbs of frequency in context of speaking. Thank you so much, and don't forget to finish your assignment quiz day 1 today before tomorrow. Thanks a lot. That was the first lesson of the week. Wish you good luck, and thank you so much.